So what makes up a good laptop? What are some of the features that you should look at for when you're buying a laptop or desktop for your home use? Now, you have done your research and you've chosen a laptop and a desktop and you're ready to buy it. But have you really considered all the features that need to be checked out on? So there are 4 or 5 main things that you need to look out for when you're buying a laptop. The first thing is supposed to be the storage. Before you order that laptop, ask yourself, what am I going to be storing and how much space do I need for this, my PC? If you're one person who downloads and stores large files, then it means you'll need a big storage, probably 500 GB and more. But if you're just one person who does simple tasks, maybe just a few Microsoft Office documents here and there, even a 320 GB internal storage for your internal hard drive is important. Now, this storage can be expanded using external hard drives, but you don't want to incur an extra cost. Well, you can just buy a laptop that has enough space for you. I don't mean to say that external storage is not important. They are always important, especially for backup purposes, and it is also advisable that you get one because you never know when your internal disk is going to crash or when you're going to have that computer just completely dead. Now, if you need to buy a good laptop, check out for the memory, and that is the first important thing that you need to look out for. The second thing should be the processor power. Things like the RAM and the processor capacity affect your computer's performance. If you buy a computer with a low RAM capacity and a low processor capacity, then you'll have, in most cases, the problem of slowly loading programs, or maybe sometimes programs not responding. When you open multiple windows, for instance, your computer will start misbehaving and you'll have a slow computer in your hand. And that sometimes becomes a burden if you need tasks performed a little bit faster and your computer is hanging. It will not do you any good. So check out on the processor and the RAM capacity, and this also depends on the kind of applications that you intend to install or the programs that you want to run on your computer. If you use high power consuming or maybe high memory consuming applications like Adobe and digital workstation software, then you need a computer with a high processor power and a RAM of not less than 8 GB of memory. The third thing that you need to look at when you are going to purchase your laptop is the battery capacity. Now, most computers or most laptops have capacity of that, batteries that last for between 4 to 6 hours, and that also is dependent on how frequently it is charged and used. These batteries cannot go beyond that, and they are somehow inferior compared to the ones on the mobile devices, and that is because of the kind of processes performed by a PC, which are much more advanced and power consuming compared to those on an Android. So you may choose the right battery for a laptop with a high battery capacity, but it all comes down to how you maintain it. So you don't have to overcharge it. You don't leave it plugged in overnight, because such practices can help you save the battery and expand or extend its lifespan. The last thing, most maybe important thing, is the acquisition cost and maintenance cost, the availability of spare parts and the cost. You don't want to buy a laptop or a desktop whose parts are maybe half expensive as the original acquisition cost. When you do that, you're likely to end up with a laptop that you're not able to revive, a dead laptop, because when the acquisition cost of the spare parts is just as expensive as half the cost of your laptop, then you won't be able to do it in most cases. And even if you do, it will not be smart enough. So those are the main things that we have that you should check out on before purchasing a laptop. So just to have a review of them, first thing you should look at the storage capacity, the RAM and the processor capacity, the battery or the power holding capacity, and the acquisition repair and maintenance costs. One thing when we are talking about power is that they are normally the UPSs, which are uninterruptible power supplies. They always help you when you have a power outage, but they're not usually that reliable because they don't hold power for that long. So those are normally alternatives if you have a laptop that has low battery capacity, or in a case where you are in a place where power outages are common. So those are the main things that you should consider before making that order of a laptop that you need to use at home.